This is House 4 on our 31 spooky movies of Hallow. What do you mean there's a part 4? You know how sometimes you watch a sequel and you think, wow, that isn't as good as the original, but I can still see what they were trying to do. Yeah, that is not this. House 4 doesn't even look like it was trying to do anything. It's like someone accidentally dropped the original House script into a toilet, flushed 3 times, and then said, hey, that's good enough. Let's film that. Let's start by acknowledging the original House from 1985, a genuinely funny, clever, and heartfelt haunted house movie that mixed horror and comedy in a way that is still beautiful and still works today. It had heart, it had charm, it had Bull from Night Court as a zombie soldier, for crying out loud. It was stupid. It was campy. It shouldn't have worked, but it did, and it's a classic. House 2 is also good. House 3 also exists. House 4? Oh no, House 4 is what happens when you tell your local community theater group, hey, want to make a sequel to a movie you've never seen? And they all say, yay, do we get to use ketchup bottle for blood again? The plot, and I am using that word oh so generously, follows Roger Cobb. Hey, he's the main character from the first House movie, once again played by William Katt, only now he's married, has a daughter, I don't know what happened to his son, and apparently lives in a totally different house now that still somehow manages to be haunted, which honestly, at this point it feels like it's his fault. I mean, fool me once, haunted house, shame on you. Fool me twice, I'm William Katt and I just deserve what's coming. The movie opens with Roger dying in a car crash, and I don't mean that as a spoiler. It happens so early that the movie feels like it can't wait to get rid of its only connection to the good movie. They probably filmed that scene first and said, cool, we've officially removed anything interesting. Let's drag out the rest of this story for 90 minutes. From there, the story follows his widow, who moves into the family home with her daughter. It's haunted by, I don't know, something, ghosts, evil spirits, the ghost of better screenwriting. Hard to say. The movie sure doesn't bother to explain. There's also an evil land developer subplot, because of course there is. Featuring mobsters who are both somehow terrifying and completely boring. You know you've got a bad horror movie when you're praying for the ghost to possess one of the mob bosses, just to give the mob boss something to do. And let's talk about the haunting, because wow, the ghosts in this movie aren't scary, funny, or even that interesting. They're like the spirit of low effort itself. We get a talking pizza. Yes, you heard that right? A literal pizza that talks, and I swear I'm not making this up. It's like someone watched Evil Dead 2 while eating Dominoes and thought, what if we took this and made it less scary, less funny, and much, much greasier? You know that moment when you're watching a horror movie and you just realize it's gone off the rails, but you're kind of enjoying the chaos? That's not this either. House 4 doesn't go off the rails because it never even made it to the tracks. It's like watching a car try to drive through a field of wet cement while the driver insists, it's fine, it's fine. It's all part of the plan. And then he starts doing cocaine. The acting. Let's just say the acting is haunted too. Everyone delivers their lines like they were promised a paycheck that never arrived. The little girl is supposed to be adorable and sympathetic, but she mostly just looks like she's wondering why her agent hates her. The mom spends most of the film looking vaguely confused, like she's trying to remember if she left the oven on or if that ghost is just passively aggressively judging her again. You put on a few pounds, Sarah, Susan, I don't know what her name was, I've already forgotten. And then there's the tone, or rather the complete absence of tone. The original House struck this amazing balance between goofy horror and genuine emotion. You cared about Roger, you felt the tension, you laughed at the weirdness, and you walked away thinking, that was a fun ride. House 4 is like watching someone try to tell you a joke they only half remember while their house slowly collapses around them. Seriously, what happened to Roger's son from the first movie? Even the production design looks like it gave up. The original house had an almost distinctive, cartoonish, surreal look to it. Wild colors, crazy camera angles, that iconic monster design. This one looks like it was filmed in a foreclosed Airbnb. You can almost smell the mildew through the screen. Now there are attempts at humor, but they land with the force of a damp noodle. It's like the writers heard that the first movie was funny but didn't quite understand why. So instead of clever wordplay or timing or anything good, they just throw in random nonsense hoping something sticks. And nothing does because the walls are made out of Teflon and mildew. And the pacing. Ooh, the pacing. Every scene feels about twice as long as it should. The movie drags its feet like a zombie that's also emotionally exhausted. By the time you hit the hour mark, you'll start wondering if the real haunting is happening to you. Look, I'm not saying every sequel has to live up to the original, but this one doesn't even live up to the title. House 4? More like an apartment complex of regret. There's not a single scare, not a single laugh, and not a single reason for it to exist. It's the cinematic equivalent of leftovers you forgot for a week on top of the stove. It's recognizable as food, but I wouldn't eat it. And what makes it worse is that it really twists the knife. That it didn't have to be this way. The House franchise started strong. The first one is beloved. It had a perfect mix of horror, absurdity, and emotional weight. House 2 was weird, still had the charm. House 3, it was off-brand nonsense, but at least it was nonsense with enthusiasm. But House 4? It's like somebody made a movie out of the color beige. It's aggressively fine in the worst possible way. This movie doesn't fail spectacularly. It fails quietly, like a balloon deflating in the corner of a Halloween party, kind of going, doing that noise. So if you love haunted house movies, skip this one. Go watch the original House. Go watch House 2. Go watch The Frighteners. Watch Poltergeist. Watch literally anything else that does not involve a talking pizza. Because House 4 doesn't just miss the spirit of the first movie, it exorcises it completely and sends it into a burning pit. And that is why I will not be making, and you should not be making, House 4 one of your 31 spooky movies of Halloween. Okay, seriously. What happened to the kid that Roger spent the entire first movie trying to get back? I'm assuming he's probably grown up by the time House 4 came along. But I think that we could have at least had an update, kind of like an Unsolved Mysteries update or something like that. I don't know. Hey, folks, like, share, subscribe, comment, blah, 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 blee, 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 blah, 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 blah. And be sure to join me next time on your 31 spooky movies of Halloween. I have no idea why I do that, but it's really messing up my neck.